Hello guys, welcome, this is it. So right here I have the ROG Phone 6. This is the white version. I think it looks really good. We have a blue accent over here, blue accent on the SIM tray. We have a blue accent a little bit on the power button right here. Blue accent over here, and here we have ROG 6. And this is blue accent also over here on the main camera. We have triple camera over here, and we have two light zone, the bottom one and the top one. Both are RGB, but only the bottom one can be have pattern like breathing, blinking and stuff like that. The top one only have static light. A bit of gamers over here. So down here we have a USB-C port, and bottom here we have another USB-C port, and a headphone microphone combo jack over there, and we have power button and the volume up and down. And these two side over here we have two capacitive touch. I don't know, they call it ultrasonic. So it also can detect. It is also pressure sensitive, so it detects how deep or how strong you press them. And on top there's nothing, and yep, that's it. So yeah, double tap and we have a fingerprint scanner over here. It is not ultrasonic, it is optical, so we need to shine light on your finger. You can see that there's a white light over there. So unlike the Samsung Galaxy one that use ultrasonic, which means it doesn't shine light, that's a little bit of inconvenience, because if you're using it in a pitch black room, it will really shine up, and if you miss that spot, this white light will absolutely blind you. Well, not literally, of course. Alright, so let's look at the feature. I really like the armory crate right here. So first of all, I want to show you the lighting system, so you can see in lightning. So here you can click on the thing itself so that you can change, and let's see. So right here we have it purple, so you can change different kind of color that you want, and then the luminance or the contrast, I guess, right there. Yeah, let's make it red, for example. Then you can change the brightness. Very low brightness right now. Maximum brightness. Medium brightness. And then that's the top one, and for the bottom one, the ROG logo right here, you can have mixed light like I have. So you have two zone, left and right zone. Then you can change left and right over here. You can change the color. For example, right now I have purple and red, and you can change either static, sync, async, or mono breathing. And then you can choose static breathing, strobing. Strobing is like this, on off, like blinking. And then you have color cycle. You just cycle through all of the colors. Rainbow effect. You can also have comet. Comet is like from left to right, like that. So you can change either it's moving towards left or towards right. And then you have flash and dash. Actually, you can see it here, the example. So it's a little bit like comet but faster, right? Let me turn the brightness way up. Maybe not, huh? It will. Then you have the mixed light. This. Wait, is it on? The one that I used before. And finally, we can choose rainbow right here, and it will look like that. I think this one is really nice. Yeah, okay, so those are all of the back light color. So next, the gaming feature. Let me show you the trigger. So you can go over here, go to the AirTrigger right here, and go to ultrasonic button setting, tap setting, and here let me reset it, and then you can see it goes on how strong you press it. For example, I can make it to 10, so now it won't trigger until I press it deep enough to reach that 10. The default is 4. I usually use it a little bit lighter, like 2, right? So you have touch over here. There's a ROG logo over here. This is inverted, horizontally inverted. This is the ROG logo, and these two capacitive button right here. So there's many feature. So you can do that. Let me turn on the visual. So now we have visual up here by how deep you can press it, right? Then you have dual partition button. You have a left and right. Then you can change how deep or how big the button are, right? And then you have swipe setting, so you can swipe left, swipe right, swipe left, swipe right. Then you have slide setting, so this is sliding, right? You can slide left, slide right. For example, you want to control camera, swipe left or swipe right, right? And then you have dual control, both tap and swipe. So this is by swiping, you're actually tapping. So converting from swipe to tap. And this we convert to slide. Tap and slide. So you can both tap, I guess. Or actually they tap and then slide. Tap and slide. Anyway, then we have motion control. So you can tilt forward, tilt backward, tilt left and right like this. Or you can also turn left and right like this, turning. And then you have shake, you have move forward, move left like that, move right like this, you know, for example, see? Now you text. Okay, anyway, we have cooler button over here, and yeah. Okay, now let's check the modes of the phone. So you have X mode, dynamic and ultra durable, and there's also the third one actually, which is the custom mode. So for example, in X mode, you can press edit, and then you can change the sensitivity, the sliding sensitivity, sliding precision, and also touch sensitivity. So you can make it -2 or +2. The default is like this, all at max, but I don't really play shooter game, so it actually impede my touch because they don't want to register it as accident. So for me, I prefer it all at 0, at normal. So here you can set the refresh rate all to 144 Hz. You can have the dual band Wi-Fi, so this is really nice. So for example, if you have a Wi-Fi that have both 2.4 GHz and also the 5 GHz, if you have this on, you can connect to both at the same time. So for example, if one of the band is the traffic is high, it is congested, so it will support on the other band. So that the phone is connected on both 2.4 and 5 GHz, so that you have a more stable connection. And on top of that, you also have hyperfusion. So in hyperfusion, on top of those two Wi-Fi band, if you have this turned on, your internet connection is also supported by your mobile internet connection. So if you have 4G on your phone, you turn this hyperfusion on. So if your Wi-Fi have any problem, your connection will still be okay because it is supported by your mobile internet connection. So this is really nice. Hyperfusion, also dual band Wi-Fi. And if you have dual band Wi-Fi, you can see on top here there will be two. So for example, if I turn on my, let's see, where's my X mode, turn it on up here, and you can see in a little while there will be two. See, now now we have two. One of them is for 5 gigahertz and another for 2.4 gigahertz. So they are both connected at the same time. Really nice. Let me turn back that X mode off. And performance is right here. With X mode, it will retain the performance level to run demanding application and handle intensive tasks for better experience. But for me, I don't really use X mode. I think dynamic is fine. It's totally no problem for me for dynamic. Anyway, let's go into the game. Let's go to PGR, Punishing Grey Raven, right here. As you can see up there, we have the performance detail. So you have the CPU usage, GPU usage. I'm sorry, it's not clear. Okay. CPU usage, GPU usage, your battery, your temperature, and also the FPS. So if you swipe from up here or from up left or right, you will bring up the Game Genie. So in Game Genie, you can choose the X mode or the dynamic, or let me turn down the volume, ultra durable, and also finally the advanced. So this advanced feature is not in the, or is it Armory Crate? It's in the Game Genie, and you can press this button over here, and then you can change how much performance that you want. If you choose the advanced gaming tuning, you can also customize the profile right here, and it's pretty nice because if you check it down here, you can choose the maximum temperature that you allow, and then you can change right here. There's a lot. I don't know what these are. Scaling governor, CPU frequency, policy 4, policy 7. I honestly, I don't know what any of these are because I never use it. See, you can choose the GPU minimum power level, maximum power level, how many idle timer. I don't know what it means by idle timer, because I think in games the GPU always running. When does it becomes idle? Anyway, we have scheduler right here. Excuse me, let me turn on my airplane mode, do not disturb mode. Where are you? Do not disturb. Do not disturb. There you go. Okay. Yeah, well, you can see so many features. Let me cancel this. Yes, I don't want to. So this is advanced gaming tuning, just gaming tuning over here. So you can force restriction on background CPU. We have memory cleaner. I never use memory cleaner. This phone have 12 GB of RAM. You also can buy another one with 16, and in the Pro version it's 18 GB of RAM. 12 GB is a lot. Most phones have 6 or 8 GB, I believe. iPhone only have 6 GB, I think. iPhone only have 6, but iPhone uses iOS, and iOS is really extremely optimized for the iPhone. So that's another matter. Anyway, memory cleaner, I don't really use that. You can also choose network. Either you want to automatically switch between 4G and 5G, prevent network switching, restrict background sync. So these are all in the advanced profile. So you have auto durable, but I only use dynamic most of the time. Maybe sometimes I use the X mode. Anyway, other than that, you can see these two right here. We have the CPU level and the GPU level, and this is the real-time info. I have it on right here, so you can move it around, the real-time info. Unfortunately, it's quite big for me. And also this bright red arrow right here, I don't really like that. It's too, I don't know, too distracting. But it's really nice showing the CPU, GPU, battery, and all those stuff. Now I'm repeating myself. Anyway, so right here you have the background mode. This background mode is really nice. So if you turn on this background mode, it will treat as if the apps is always on the screen. Right here, so it is now on background mode. So you will get notification about the background mode. So even if let me log in right here. So even if you went out on the phone, or even if you turn off your phone, it will still treat as if your game is turned on, and that is extremely nice. Some games, I'm sorry, I bit my tongue. Some games, they you know, you are downloading something and sometimes it doesn't support background downloading. So if you have this background mode turned on, I'm sorry, if you have this background mode turned on, you can literally turn off your phone and it will still be running like that. Or you can do something else, just go out and, you know, watch YouTube, browse the web or whatever, and the game is still running in the background like it is running on the screen. And you can also turn on the sound of the game. So you can see right now the game is running in the background, the sound is on, and then you can turn on YouTube or whatever, right? And the game is still running. That is really nice. And you can mute the sound in the background. So now when I go to the background, it no longer makes any sound. Already transmit sound. And let me turn on the volume, turn it on back. So we have the background mode, real-time info. You can have regular charging or bypass charging. Now this is also another really nice feature. Let me grab charger. Alright, I have a charger right here. So if I plug this in, and then I have regular charging. So now I can change from regular charging into bypass charging. So now the charger directly being used just to run the phone and not charge the battery. So for example, if you have a very low battery, 10%, 30%, if you charge it, you know, especially if you use fast charging, it will really heat up the battery. So if you don't want to heat up the battery because you're playing games, your CPU and GPU is also heating up, just use bypass charging. So now you are not charging your battery and you are not heating it up. The power is directly supplied to the CPU and GPU, not to the battery. So now, yeah, your battery will be safer than if you are using it to play games and also charging the battery. So there you go, bypass charging. I really like that, bypass charging. Other than that, you have no alert, no calls, navigation blocking. Navigation blocking is this. You can see navigation blocking. So if before this, if navigation blocking is turned off, if I put this, the navigation is on right there. But if I have navigation blocking on, so it will block. So it won't, this gesture won't register as opening up the bottom navigation bar. And then you have refresh rate. Now this is another really cool feature. So you can change from, let's see here, 144, 165, auto. We have 60, so 60 is the lowest, 90, 120, 144, 165 Hertz. And it really shows when it changes. You can see that the color changes a little bit and brightness. Usually I just let it in auto. And then network switch, so you can switch between data network and also Wi-Fi. And then mark clip. Now this is really nice. This mark clip over here, okay, now we should have it. Where is it? Oh, it's over there, it's up here. Alright, so this is called mark clip, but it's basically a recording button, and it it's like the switch record button. So it is always recording, and if you press the button, it will save the previous 5, 10, 20 or 30 seconds. So just like the switch record button, or like the NVIDIA, I forgot what NVIDIA's version is called. But yeah, so for example, right here, I just press play, battle, go out, this and out, and press this button, and it is now saved. So if you go out, so if you have multiple recording and you go out of the game, and then only then it will show you that there will be a video recording over here. And let me turn on auto rotate, and this is the recording. So this is the previous 30-second, right? So this is when I went into the battle and then went into the surviving Lusum event over there. And yeah, and the recording, it's pretty nice. It also records the detail up over here. The recording, I can say it is pretty good. It's not extremely large like on iPhone. Like if on iPhone, I prefer using third-party recorder apps because you can change the bitrate to be a little bit lower so that it doesn't cost you like 3 GB for a 10-minute or 20-minute screen recording. Instead, it will cost you like 1 GB for 30 minutes recording. Now that is better. Anyway, yeah, mark clips. It's basically recording the highlight of the gameplay. So if you are playing a shooter game and then you got a nice kill, so you can just press that button and you automatically get the previous 30-second recording, and you will not miss your, you know, nice kill or something in game. So that is the mark clip. Then you have flock brightness. Oh yeah, there's also a brightness control up here, right? And also the volume button up here. And then for the brightness, you can lock it, so it will no longer automatically change the brightness when you go, let's say, from outside. No, that is not realistic. When you, let's say you turn off the light in your room so that the brightness doesn't automatically becomes low. So yeah, lock brightness and also data only mode. You can change that. I don't have my SIM card in, so that's not available. And then on the right side, you have the record button. So right there, the record button, you can change, you can choose screenshot, setting or whatever of this recording right now. Anyway, let's go into the settings. So you can change the resolution, frame rate, quality, orientation, and what nice, you can also show visual feedback. So in the visual feedback, you can show your touches, your touch tracks. There will be a yellow line or both of them or just none. So you can see. So this is tracking, so not only your touch but also your movement, right? So let me stop that, go into here, just once. Okay, now it is recording, right? So you can see when I tap on the screen, it shows my tap. Am I moving? No. Okay. There. Okay. Let's see over here. I want to show you the tap. There. 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 So yeah, it shows the tap and also the movement of your, if you choose touches and touch tracks over or down here. So like that. Right. Let's continue with macro. Yeah, it also has macro. So you can record the macro, touch, move it up and down, you know, those stuff. I think if you are used to macro, you know what it does. And you can also choose, this is to block any touches. So when you play the macro back, macro, right? So if you play the macro back, it will lock the screen, and it also shows you how many times it is repeating right here. So right now it is looping, and then if you have any call or missed call, it will show you down here how many missed call that you have, your battery. So let me unlock that back, and you can see this is the playback setting. They repeat it infinitely. Just do it once, or you can choose how many times to repeat and how many times to delay between the repeats right there. And yeah, just click, swipe or whatever. That's the macro, and then you can have multiple macro. This macro is specific for the app, so if you open the other app, this macro won't show in the other apps, so that is nice. So you have a multiple macro, it won't becomes messy in here with multiple apps macro, right? So you can let me turn on the macro back. Okay, so right here, you can also run multiple macros. So this is really nice. So for example, you have macro so you have one macro and then another macro and then the third macro, macro, I'm confused. Anyway, you can line them up together and you can play it back to back. So you don't have to record one large macro for everything. You can make it small chunks and then just line it up over here in multiple macro setting. And then you can rename it over here and yeah, whatever. You can also preview it. That's pretty nice. You can press preview and you can see the macro preview, what it is doing, right? You can have replay it back. Yeah, preview. I'm just going to delete this, turn it off, and yeah, there you go. That's macro. Let me turn off the real-time info over here. And we have edge tool. Edge tool is also really nice. So you can't really see it. Oh, because I turned it off. Yeah, let me turn this on back. So for edge tool, this edge tool is available everywhere. Like you can see right here, this is the tab. Swipe from there, and you have your macro down here. I'm sorry, not macro. Edge tool. So you can turn on your game. See, I'm having my game running in there in a small window on top of everything. This is really nice. And then you can have, web browser or whatever you can add. Press edit here. Let me, so you can minimize it, right? So let me take that off. So here you can choose the application. Not all games are available to be in this small window mode, or ASUS call it edge tool anyway. Let me close it up. So for example, PGR is available for, I just call it windowed mode. But some games are not in there. For example, I have Genshin, Honkai. They are not available for that picture-in-picture or windowed mode. So yeah, it depends, but YouTube is available. So for example, if you play games, you can turn on this edge tool. It is always on the screen. You can also choose the transparency. So it's up there. You can press it and hold and you can move it around. Right. Then you can change the transparency to be really high, to be like basically invisible, but you can still pull it out. You can make it bigger and you can make it longer. Oh yeah, the transparency. You can make it longer. So yeah, the customization is really nice and it is always available. If you're in game or whatever, you can always use this edge mode, right? You can watch Twitch or whatever in here. You can resize it, make it bigger or smaller, right? These are all on the fly change. You don't have to go into the setting to change this. Yeah, but I don't really use this, but I think it's really neat. For example, if you need to use calculator, you need to have it always, right? Very easy to use. You can make it small, put it up here, or put it down here. Always use it. Really nice. Edge tool, thumbs up. Yeah, let's see if I can close that. But I don't really use that. Let me turn it off. Now it's not there. Back into the game. What else? Edge tool. So for speed up, I will basically clean all other apps in the RAM. That's speed up. And then AirTriggers. So let me turn on this so you can see when I press. And then you can move this around. You can set it up here, set it down here or whatever. Then you can press it, right? You can choose from tab, dual partition, like the one I showed you before, all of that. And the nice thing about this is that, oops, never mind that. Let me get into the game and go back to the AirTrigger right here. All right, so you can choose. Now this is also really nice. You can make it, press it as a single tap like that, or You can make it to press trigger dual action. You press it once, but this detect as tapping twice, or also, yeah, here you have auto repeat tap. So this is how many taps per second. So this is 4 taps per second. And then if you want to have vibration, how fast the vibration that you will feel. So if I press it right here, yeah, let me set it up. I don't know why it's not vibrating as I wanted. Let's go to here, constant vibration. Yeah, that's it. So right now it is tapping 4 times per second. Yeah, you can't really, how can I say it? For me, I can feel the vibration when it tap, 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 tap. That is that's not the number of taps, but rather the number of vibration that I feel, right? So, for example, if I have this is 1 tap per second. This is 3 taps per second, up to 4 taps per second, like typing really fast, and you can have constant vibration. So if you put your hands here, you can keep getting feedback, so you know that you are tapping constantly. If I have it really high right here, you can really feel the tap, 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 tap. I mean the vibration, vibrate like that. Yeah, auto repeat tap, really nice. Gyroscopic aiming. I guess if you press here, you can control gyro. Right, see, gyroscopic aiming. When you press this, you will control the screen. Macro to trigger the macro, AirTrigger profile, shooting assist, whatever. So many features right here. I haven't really touched any of this, like the shooting assist. What does it do? Oh, I see. So it's basically like recoil compensation, right? So when you shoot, it will automatically pull the screen down. Recoil compensation, I believe. Yeah, god damn. This is really nice. I don't really play first-person shooter games, so yeah, this is the first time I open all of this. AirTrigger profile, I don't know what this is. Anyway, that is only for tap right here. So other than tap, you have dual partition button, right? So you can press here and press here. So there's 2. I think I've shown this before. Yeah, so you can set those dual partition button, and then you can choose auto tap, gyroscoping for each of them, right and left of the right trigger button. So very, very nice customization on that. Let me turn that off. So yeah, that's the called AirTriggers. You have picture-in-picture mode, running this in a picture mode right here. So you can, for example, if you're playing idle game, you can have your idle game up there while you can browse YouTube or Instagram, Twitter, or whatever. I only use Reddit mostly. Yeah, let me turn that back up. Oh yeah, my AirTrigger, let me turn it off. Forgot to turn it off. Alright, next we have the Crosshair. So you can choose the style of the Crosshair, the color, and the size opacity right there. And let me turn it on, and you can see now I have Crosshair on my screen. Like I said, I don't play first-person shooters, so I don't really use that. Let me turn that off back. And next you have quick control. Not really sure, but quick control is. So you can enable shortcut for lock touch, screen recorder, screenshot, for macro, and also AirTrigger profile. Right, nice. So if I turn it on, I have nothing. Let's say lock touch enable. And now what? Oh, okay. Can I move it around? Yes, you can. You can move this around right here. You can set that, the opacity, and also the size, and make it really small and a little bit transparent right there. So I set it as lock touch So whenever I want to lock touch, press it, and now it enables that. And you can, as I shown you before, it can be used for many other things like screen recorder, screenshot, macro, AirTrigger profile, right? So if you have in this game, if you want to have, for example, for this weapon you want to have this trigger profile, for another weapon you have another trigger profile, so you can have this shortcut button to quickly change between those trigger profile, so you don't have to go into the setting, you can just change on the fly. For example, you play games, you pick up one weapon, tap that button, play, you pick up another weapon, and you change to another air profile, you can change on the fly. I guess that's how you want to use that. Right, other than that, finally search. I think, yeah, search is, it will open up. You can see this also the first time I use it. So, automatically open a web browser and you can search stuff in it. Can you resize it? No, you can't. And anything else? Just zoom in, zoom out, oh yeah, and just go back like that. So, search button, web browser, and this is the back button over here. Just press it to go back into the game. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the Game Genie for the ROG ASUS ROG Phone 6. Yeah, really cool, very nice. Oh yeah, finally you can change. So this is for the game profile and this is for the info, like the temperature, frame per second, your latency right here, and this is for not sure what's that for. Anyway, yeah, Game Genie, really nice, thumbs up. Yeah, what else? Oh yeah, so another feature that I want to show you is that, right, if you like to listen to podcasts while playing games, you have a really nice audio control over here. So right now I have it running. So now I open my game.
But these headlines are about
okay, so now I'm sorry, I just quit the YouTube. Play again.
Is about Apple potentially making their own cellular Wi-Fi
okay,
and Bluetooth chip.
So you can open this. Press the volume button and then go here and then tap over here. So this is the audio output. So I don't want the game audio output. I just want the YouTube audio output, so I can enable YouTube and disable PGR, the game audio output. So now there's no more game sound. I know in iPhone you can turn on the silent mode so that you have your YouTube running, game sound not running. But when you use your AirPods or any earphones, you have that button no longer mutes the game sound. But with this, you can still, even with an earphone, you can still mute your game sound without having to go into the setting and mute it in there. So yeah, you have the very nice, this scenario, very nice audio output control. This on, just this, just the game on, both on, just the YouTube on, or whatever. This is really nice. Like it is like on the PC where you can control separate device, a separate audio output. So this audio output control, very, very useful. So you have this scenario effect game, so changing the EQ of the sound, and then finally you have the media output, so where you want to output it on your phone, on your Bluetooth headphone, on your speaker, if you have jack on or whatever. And yeah, it's really nice. But one thing that I don't like about this volume button is that this is too big and I can't really see like how far ahead I have been. For example, like here, feel like I've maxed out the volume, right? No, I can still go up until there. So the indication is not really nice. Like here, see, you feel like this is the max because there's no longer that little tap down up there. But yeah, you are wrong. This thing is big, so you can go further up there. And also the volume up and down is a little bit too granular, so you have to press it a lot of time to go down there. A lot of time to go to the max volume up there. I know you can press and hold but you know, on iPhone you can press 3 times to get to the volume that you want. And in here, like if you just want to lower it a little bit, you need to press like 5 times down, 6 times up, something like that. Yeah, just a nitpick from me. And what else do I want to show you guys? One-handed mode is normal, like you can swipe from here to get one-handed mode. Swipe right there, swipe down, so that you can change. You can reach the top with one hand. But this phone is big, and my hand is not that big. I have a pretty small hand, so yeah, one-handed mode quite helpful. But I think having this one-handed keyboard is better. And this is the Microsoft Swift key, very nice. The default Gboard for the keyboard, it is called Gboard from Google, is not really nice, because once you have it in one-handed mode, you can see that I don't mean you can see the prediction up here will be squished down. So that's why I use Microsoft Swift key. They have bought Swift key years ago, I believe. Yeah, what else? Oh, right. About the battery. Oh, this is another very nice feature that I really like on ASUS phone. So let me show you battery here, and battery care. So yeah, in the battery care right here, so you can have steady charging, which means it uses a lower wattage to charge your phone. Your phone will charge slower, but it will not become as hot if you use a higher wattage. And then this maximum charging limit is really nice, man. Have it at 80%. If you stay at home a lot, just keep it at 80%, and you can keep your battery for a longer time. It will have a longer life. 90% or 100, and then if you keep it at 80% and have steady charging on, you don't really have to go into the setting to turn that off. For example, I want to go out after this, I want to charge my phone until 100%. What I need to do is just plug the charger in, right? Plug the charger in, and then swipe it down, and now you have 2 notifications up here. One is for charging limit, one is for steady charging. So I don't want steady charging, just skip once, and I want to charge it to 100% and press it, skip once. So now my phone will charge as fast as it can and up to the 100%, just like that, right? If I turn it, plug it back off and plug it back in, now it will default back to the charging limit to 80%, and also steady charging, having a lower wattage charging. No, that's really nice, because whenever I put it in, it charges max to 80%, and it charges slow. It's fine. I'm at home and I'm using it for playing games or whatever, right? But if I want to go out, I can just plug in the charger and then skip these 2, and now it will charge in just an hour from 0 to max. Hour and 50 minutes, something like that. It charges really fast. Yeah, that's really nice. I really like that about this phone. I believe the other ASUS phone also have this feature. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Another nitpick is that the always on display is dim compared to Samsung. So let's see, always on panel. It calls itself always on panel. Turn it on. So now I have the always on panel. So if I turn on this big clock, it is nice. They have large clock, you can see it nicely, but the default is a very small clock up here, and it is not bright at all. I believe the brightness is very low, right? Compared to for Samsung, you can change this always on panel brightness, but for ASUS, or whatever, you cannot change the brightness at all, and the brightness is low. It is very dim. Quite useful if you change the clock to have big, to make it big or have it big. Yeah, always on panel on ASUS, it's okay, but Samsung does it way better. What else? Well, yeah, I guess that's it. That's all about the ROG Phone 6 with a Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1, and it can really, your phone will become hot, but I mean warm, but the games will never chugging. Will never lags, will never chug. Like for example on my iPhone, if I play Genshin, or even if I play that PGR game, Punishing Grid Raven, if I max it all out, it runs okay for the first few minutes, and then after like 15 minutes, it will really lags. I'm talking about iPhone here, because iPhone become really hot and I have to use a phone cooler to cool it down. But for this phone, even without any cooler, it will still run fine. The battery, 6,000 milliamp hour battery, very nice. It lasts really long. For example, if I play PGR, it usually at maximum setting everything, it will last on iPhone for 1 to 2 hours, but on this phone you can get up to 4-5 hours, double or even triple that. So the battery is really nice. But yeah, very nice. It get warm, but it doesn't chugs, so it able to suitably cool down the SoC, the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1. It can really cool that chip, really extract the maximum performance from that chip. So if you buy this, you can know that you really get the maximum performance of the chip. Like on other phone, like on Samsung, they also use the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1. But if you play games, it will get really hot and it will throttle down, meaning the chip gets too hot, it will no longer push itself, so the performance will go down. Not on this ROG Phone 6, which is really nice, even without the cooler. One thing, if you buy this phone, don't buy the cooler to cool the phone. The cooler on this phone, the ROG, so I have here the ROG AeroActive cooler. This cooler is pretty bad, I tell you. The button is really nice, the build is really nice, but the cooling effect is horrible, especially for what is it, $180, $70 cooler. Like, look, I have this Black Shark cooler over here, and this is around $30. Yeah, and this is 3 years old cooler. As you know, this thermoelectric cooler, I believe that's what it's called. Maybe I'm wrong, don't quote me on that. This thermoelectric cooler, the effectiveness reduces when you use it a lot. It's like battery, I guess. It becomes less and less effective. So this is a 3 years old cooler, the Black Shark Fun Cooler Pro or something, and this thing is still much cooler than this brand new cooler. I don't know why. You know, if I plug in the charger down here and turn on the frosty mode, it should becomes very cool because it gets external power, right? It's not taking the power from the phone, but still it is much less cooler than this. Why, ASUS? Why can't you make it as cool as this? This thing can condensate, I think that's the word, condensate the surrounding air and make air droplets on it, water droplets on it, because it is so cold. You know, the first time I bought it, first year I have it, it's really cold. And even now, 3 years old, it is still much cooler than this. What are you doing with this, ASUS? The buttons are all nice, but why is the cooling is so bad on this? So tips on you don't buy this unless you want to use the button. But even then, these buttons are not comfortable at all to use. I think it's best if they just make it really big like this, and then you have the button up here, you know, and then you have a battery pack in there. That would be nice. But for this, 4 buttons is not comfortable. The cooling is, honestly, for me, it's bad. It's not cool at all, even with external power plugged in. So yeah, don't waste your money on this AeroActive cooler. This phone can cool the SoC, the system on chip, much better. I mean, it can cool the chip enough, good enough to play. Not good enough. It can cool it well. Yes, it can cool the SoC, Snapdragon 8 plus Gen 1. It can cool the SoC chip well. Yeah, not enough. It can cool the chip well, so you don't have that. You don't need this AeroActive cooler. Unless you want to buy it for the 4 extra triggers back there, but even then it's not that comfortable. Now I'm repeating myself. Sorry guys. Yeah, I think that's it. That's all from me. This is the ROG Phone 6, so hope you guys have fun listening to my rant. I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself a lot. And yeah, one last note, I really like this accent on the power button. Right. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye guys. Later. Peace. Peace out. Have a good day. And yeah, bye. Ta-ra.